Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss The Last Picture Show, starring Timothy Bonhams, Jeff the Dude Man Bridges, Sybil Shepherd, Ben Johnson, Cloris Leachman, Ellen Burstyn, Eileen Brennan, Clu Gulliger, Sam Bonham, Sharon Ulrich, and Randy Quaid, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. Now, I've never seen this movie before, so let's just get straight into this. In Arraine, Texas, on a morning of the month of November in the year 1951, Sonny Crawford, played by Timothy Bonhams, picks up Dwayne Jackson, played by Jeff the Dude Man Bridges, and takes him to Sam the Lion, played by Ben Johnson, and his place as they arrive there and see Mute Billy, played by Sam Bonhams, who happens to be Timothy's younger brother, while Sam the Lion gives Dwayne some money to take salty-tongued waitress Genevieve, played by Eileen Brennan, to breakfast at a diner where she works at. And I'm liking these characters thus far, as I like Dwayne the most because it's Jeff the Dude Man Bridges. We learn Sonny and Dwayne go out and with their girlfriend's Saturday night date, while Sonny and Charlene Duggs, played by Sharon Taggart, enter the picture as it's their anniversary, and she asks for a present, and by she, I'm talking about Charlene. Well, he never gets one, and when they leave the picture show and they have a brief sexual scene, and Sonny decides to dump Charlene's ass, and Sonny goes to the cafe after his and Charlene's breakup, and they go to the school the next day, and Sonny gets a job driving Coach Pepper's wife, Ruth, played by Cloris Leachman, to her doctor's appointment, as Sonny agrees, and later that night, Dwayne's girlfriend, JC, yeah, that's right, is confronted by her alcoholic mother, Lois, played by Ellen Burstyn, who doesn't want JC to waste her time with Dwayne, and these scenes at the school were great, in my opinion. The next day, Sonny takes Ruth to her doctor's appointment, as she's disappointed her husband can't drive her to the doctor's himself, as she invites Sonny inside for a soda, and she sobs until Sonny timidly tries to make her comfortable. And this scene was a little too dramatic, as this is a long movie at an hour and 58 minutes plus the director's cut. But I'm not losing interest by any means, but this could have been in the editing room floor, as it wasn't necessary, in my opinion. At a party time in the nighttime, JC is invited to a Christmas dance led by Coach Pepper, while Lester Marlowe, played by Randy Quaid, hits on JC before Dwayne arrives to the dance, and we get inside and she and Dwayne dance for a little bit until they go outside and Sonny is encountered by his father, and Dwayne gives JC a Christmas gift, and they start arguing about Lester's Christmas party being invited by Lester himself as well as his mother. And they almost smooch up the storm until JC has to leave and goes to Lester's Christmas party, and Dwayne almost fights Lester, but the people owning the house, and Sonny goes helping out the lady of the house, which is Ruth, as they start kissing, and I thought, what the fuck? She's twice his age, as that creeped me out. Lester and JC get to the Christmas party, as it's a naked swim party. Oh, Jesus. And JC has no choice but to get undressed for the swim. And remind me, unless if it's inside, how is swimming comfortable during the winter time? Maybe I'm not used to that because I've never been in an indoor pool before in my whole damn life. Well, it was pretty uncomfortable, but a well shot scene, as this movie is well made and the performances are very good in this movie. Dwayne is depressed about JC and starts drinking, and Billy tries to get a woman pregnant to entertain Dwayne, and they go back to Sam the Lion, telling the boys to never go anywhere that is owned by him ever again, as well as staying away from Billy, while Sonny and Ruth have some kind of weird intercourse while Ruth cried briefly because she's scared about Coach Pepper catching them while he's at basketball practice. And I do like the movie. This is so far a good movie. This is not a great movie by any means necessary. Sonny drives around at night until morning comes, and he comes to the diner and gets a cheeseburger made by Genevieve, and he plays a record until Billy and Sam comes in, and as Sonny leaves, Sam says his food is getting cold, and Sonny comes and eats it, and Sonny apologizes to Sam and Billy about Billy, and I did like the scene while Sonny comes by Coach Pepper's house and sees Ruth, which was again unnecessary. As Sam takes Sonny and Billy fishing at the lake, and Sam talks about how he had a wife and brought over a special lady to the lake. And the dialogue is good to listen to, in my opinion, as I'm a fan of coming of age stories, as this isn't the greatest so far. While they're a comfortable experience. This is a comfortable experience, I should rephrase that. JC is living in Wichita Falls while Sonny and Dwayne get an idea to go on a trip to Mexico, and they take off and tell Sam about it. And when they get back, they don't feel good and try to get some medicine, but they can't get anything because Sam died while they were out of town in Mexico, as it was learned by Andy. And they go to the funeral and they pay their respects to Sam, and the year is now 1952. And they go to Wichita Falls for a picnic as JC lives there, and Dwayne visits her after a long distance relationship and barely have sexual intercourse, but they break up because Dwayne might be dickless, as they never did it. JC says her mother was right about Dwayne, and they pretend to say it was wonderful, which was an interesting but funny choice, and not in a ha-ha kind of way, but strangely. They sing the graduation song as Dwayne tries to talk to JC, but she doesn't want to talk to him while singing the graduation song. And they do eventually have intercourse, but he didn't do it right, while Sonny gets a graduation present from Ruth as Dwayne calls JC, and she says she has a new boyfriend named Bobby Sheen and wants him to go to Mexico, as he does go there to live there, and that's quite a departure for Dwayne. Meanwhile, JC watches the TV, and she sees Bobby Sheen is getting married on a Saturday night, and she joins someone named Abilene, taking her to a play pool at Sam's old building, and they kiss and have intercourse. And this scene is making some interesting choices that are adult themed, and this does earn its R rating for a damn good reason. JC gets home while Abilene drops her off at home, as JC loses her virginity, seeing her mother Lois, and advises her to go out with Sonny. And she takes Sonny out for a drive while he's trying to go to Ruth's place, but Sonny avoids going to her place because at one point he had some kind of crush on JC, as Sonny and JC smooch up, and that was a good choice, I guess. Dwayne is in town and visits Sonny for a bit, and have an argument about him and JC and fight about it, and Sonny is bloodied up and in the hospital and actively avoiding Ruth, while Genevieve talks about how much of a bad influence JC is, and JC arrives and sees Sonny, and she makes him marry her, and they do. And because her father is the sheriff in town, one of the deputies gets them out of the highway, and JC's father takes her home while Lois brings him home, while he's been avoiding to see Ruth and Dwayne for personal reasons, while he refuses to join the U.S. Army. And this is a little dramatic of a monologue Lois had with Sonny. And I didn't care for this scene, as it could have been in the editing room floor as well. A month or two later, Sonny watches the high school football team and visits Dwayne while he's on leave from the Army, and as he's going to Korea the next day, and go to their last picture show, as it's the last day until it closes down for good, as they watch a Western movie, and they go to Wichita Falls for some beers, as the next day comes and they go their separate ways, as Dwayne goes to Korea while Sonny takes his car, the Mercury, and says goodbye to Dwayne, as he'll be back for a sequel called Texasville, which I've never seen and probably never will either, because this movie is because of this movie, as there's a reason this movie is a Columbia classic, but I can't explain what it is, but it is in there, as it won 2 supporting role at the Oscars in the year 1971. But is there a reason for a sequel? No. Same with To Sir With Love, because it's not necessary at all. Sonny drives off too fast, too furious, until he stops on the highway and makes a turn around to go to Ruth's place and asks for a cup of coffee with her, and she has a meltdown because he's the one who's supposed to be apologizing to her, as she doesn't feel sorry for him, as she never loved him, as he doesn't say a damn word and holds her hand, and she lets go and she forgives him. And the climax was depressing for sure, but I'm glad I saw the movie, but it's just not my favorite of the classics I've seen in the past couple of months. Now it's time for my rating. I'll give this movie a 6.3 out of 10. This is a long movie at an hour and 58 minutes, and I did like it as well as the characters are good to watch, but I think my favorite is Dwayne, played by Jeff the Dude Man Bridges. And the movie is well acted and well made, but there were times it was just creeping me out. Some of the scenes were weird and pretty uncomfortable, while some of the scenes were unnecessary. And I would say this is a good movie. This is not a great movie, but again, there are great performances in this movie by any means necessary. But the dialogue is good to listen to. Well, I'm a fan of coming of age stories. While this wasn't the greatest in my opinion, while there's a they're at a comfortable while this is a comfortable experience, the movie does earn its R rating for a damn good reason, as it makes interesting choices at the point it was sometimes very funny. As this is a recommendation, and I do recommend watching this one only once in your lifetime. And I did like this movie. I liked it better than I did, and it earns its place in the Columbia Classics. For what reason? I don't know for sure, but again, it's a good movie. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with the 1982 version of Annie. And until then, here's the Columbia woman doing this.